Hello dear YouTube, hello dear friends, hello dear viewers. In today's video I will show my game from Dubai Police Open. First round, I was white against Mayank Chakraborty. So let's go. So I was white and I decided to surprise even myself, and instead of playing e4 or d4, I played knight f3. Yes, I checked my opponent games, and I came prepared, and I should say that a couple of months ago in February I played the same opponent in Bangladesh League. So that game went e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, bishop b4, e5. So knight f3, d5, g3. Yes, here I was expecting knight d7, d4, knight b6, bishop g4, and knight f6. So he played bishop g4, bishop g2, knight d7. I played c4. You can also go short castle, but the problem now is being c6. For example, now c4 does not really work because of bishop f3, and now with bishop f3 there is knight e5. So I started with c4 and here e6. And I knew that the strongest move, if I'm not mistaken, is to take c takes d, and then play short castle with the ideas to go knight c3, d3, and maybe queen c2 and e4. Yes, but if I'm not mistaken, today morning, afternoon, when I was preparing against my opponent, I saw that modern engines are showing queen b3 as well. Yes, queen b3, of course knight c5 and queen c3. Yes, my opponent played knight f6. Honestly speaking, I didn't check very deeply. I knew that queen b3, knight c5, queen c3 is there, and engines were showing around 0.10, 15 for white, so I decided to play over the board. Yes, knight f6, short castle, bishop e7 was played, and here no, not bishop e7, I apologize. Knight d7 my opponent went. I was expecting bishop e7. Yes, here I wanted to go some b3. My opponent played knight d7. I played b3. He went c5. Yes, and I played e3. I didn't like much bishop b2, d4, let's say queen c2, and something like even bishop d6, e3, e5. Yes, he takes this, he takes d. Yes, something like this I did not like much. That's why I played e3. Yes, bishop d6. Yes, such an idea was there, like knight e4, queen c2. Yes, if queen f6 there is bishop b2. If bishop f3, queen f6, there is bishop takes e4. If d takes e, knight c3 is coming, and of course here white should be almost winning. Yes, c takes d is possible. Knight a3 is an option to play. Yes, bishop d6, decent move. Bishop b2, whenever he takes, and bishop e5, there is always d4. Yes, queen e7, d3, and here e5. For a long time, I was considering knight bd2, and for example, if you go d4, I can always play queen c2 with the ideas to go rook a e1. But here, surprisingly, e4 works. Let's say d takes. You don't have much squares for the knight. Knight g5, bishop e5. Let's say you go queen c2, bishop takes b2, takes bishop e2, and sacrifices on e4 does not really work. and if something like rook e1 or rook any other square, bishop d3, and this position was not clear at all for me. Yes, and these sacrifices are not working also because of queen e4. If knight takes e4, then queen g7 works, but just queen e4 and any jump with the knight does not really work. Yes, because of e4 I did not play knight d2. I took on d5, knight takes d5. I played queen c4. I wanted to go queen d2, let's say short castle knight c3, and white does not have any problems. Maybe white is very slightly better. I did not play queen c2 because of knight b4, and surprisingly here knight d3 works and then e4 comes. Yes, that's why I played queen c4, bishop e6 and queen c2 back. Now knight b4, there is always queen e2. My opponent played short castle, knight bd2. He went rook c8. Yes, I don't think black has much problems, but I also kind of liked my position. Here, for example, I was seriously considering knight c4 in order to provoke opponent to go f6. Otherwise, e5 pawn is hanging. Maybe I should have gone for knight c4. I played rook a d1. I could also go rook a c1 and then place the other rook on d1. So I played rook d1. My opponent went bishop b8. I played rook e1. And here he has, I'm sure, many decent moves. He decided to go knight b4, queen b1, bishop f5, and knight e4. I always thought that whenever he forces me to go knight e4 and he trades his light squared bishop with my knight and doubles my pawns on e-file, then I'm always better. Yes, takes, and here after the game he said that he wanted to go c4, but then he like b takes c, knight b6, but then he realized that bishop h3 ideas are there. Yes, so I played knight f6. I don't think here I played very precisely. I went bishop h3, rook d8. Here bishop f1 probably would have been stronger, and if a6, a4. Yes, so I played a3, knight c6, queen c2. Here he could go already b5. He played a6. I played bishop f1 back because my bishop, though it looks like very good on h3, it doesn't do much. So bishop f1, b5, a4. Yes, queen b7 ideas are not possible. c5 is simply hanging. So knight b4, queen b1, b takes a, and here I think white is already much better. Yes, white has full control over light squares. So what did my opponent play here? I think he played knight d7. Let me check it. Yes, b takes knight d7 he played. I played bishop c3, a5, knight d2. Yes, knight b6, bishop b5, protecting pawn on a4, bishop c7, knight c4. Yes, I was very happy about the trade of these knights. Yes, whenever he takes, bishop takes c4 comes, and again I'm controlling light squares. So knight c8 with the idea to go knight a7 and trade my light squared bishop. So I took rook d1. Yes, if knight a7, then always e5 is hanging after rook takes d8, or I can take with the bishop or with the knight. So f6, protecting the pawn on e5. I took on d8, queen d8, and I played knight a3. Still I'm probably much better. So knight d6 was played, bishop e2, queen d7, knight b5, king f8. Yes, I took on d6, bishop takes d6, and here my opponent offered me a draw. Yes, I think white is having advantage at least, and no need for white to accept that offer. So I played queen d1, queen e6, bishop g4, queen e7. I played queen e2 with the ideas to go queen c4 or queen b5. So bishop c7, I played h4, always to meet g6 with h5. So g6, h5 I played, king g7, queen c4, queen d6, king g2, useful move, bishop e2, queen c6 and bishop d1, yes. Bishop is coming to b3 and along a to g8 diagonal, white is almost crushing. So g takes h, bishop takes h5, queen c7, bishop d1 back, and here my opponent went queen f7, queen takes c5, queen c7, and yes, like I had queen b5, queen c3, queen d7. I could just take bishop b4, a takes b, queen b4. For some reason I decided to take and play bishop e2. Yes, and this endgame should be completely winning, I thought, with the f4 ideas. King is coming h3, g4, f5. Yes, but it was not that easy. So bishop b5, knight d8, king h3, knight f7, bishop c6, knight d6, bishop d5, knight c8, king g4, king g6, stopping king f5, f4, knight b6, and after bishop c6 my opponent lost on time. Yes, I'm sure white is winning, but probably if I would take on b4 with the bishop, that would have been even stronger. So let's check the game with the computer to see. Yes, queen b3, knight c5, and yes, queen c2, queen c3 I played. Wow, wow. Yes, engine is showing slightly better for white, and c6, knight f6, but I didn't know at all that the idea of queen b3, queen c3 is to continue with d4. Wow. This is why you should check deeply. Yes, I didn't check deeper, and I thought, yes, d4, knight d4, queen b3. Wow. Wow, wow. So I played short castle, knight d7, and yes, here I could start with h3. I played b3, not the strongest. Actually, the whole idea with b3 is not right. So my opponent had c6, bishop e7, he went c5. I could maybe even take queen b2, funny move. So I played d3. I could also take and d4. Yes, bishop b2. Yes, d4 is d4, bishop d6, e5, e3. So e3. My opponent played bishop d6. I played bishop b2. Yes, queen e7 instead of short castle. As I played d3, e5. Wow, queen d2, and knight bd2 is not really working. Yes, because of e4. Yes, e4 is there. And if, let's say, I take, yes, if d4, then queen, you can even take. But if e4 takes, knight g5, bishop e5, queen c2, bishop takes, queen takes. Yes, both moves are working, bishop f5 or bishop e2. So I took on d5, knight d5, I played queen c4, bishop e6, and here queen h4 engine is showing. I played queen c2, short castle. Yes, black does not have any problems. I played knight bd2. Yes, he could start with knight b4. He played this. Yes, knight c4, knight b4. I played rook d1. b5. Yes, I was thinking about b5. My idea was to go rook fe1 and then queen b1 d4. But always he can go b5, and let's say if I do rook e1 and d4, he takes c4 comes. So bishop b8. Yes, I could go queen b1. I played this. Yes, b5 again. I wanted to go queen b1. Yes, knight before queen b1. This. And here bishop e4. Yes, bishop e4 is not correct. Knight f6. Yes, many moves are possible. I went bishop h3. Rook d8. Yes, bishop f1 would have been maybe here. I played queen c2. a6. I played bishop f1. b5. b5 is not precise. Knight before queen b1. So takes. Knight d7. Bishop c3. a5. Knight d2. Bishop b5. Knight c4. Knight c8. Yes, I played rook d1. Yes, if knight a7 was there, I was thinking, yes, to take the pawn, so f6, but this is very unpleasant position, so I played, yes, maybe you could bishop e2, knight b5, knight d6, queen d1, bishop g4, queen e2. No, white is having huge advantage. h4, g6, h5, king g7, queen c4, king g2. Yes, and here maybe, yes, queen c6 was another mistake. Allowed bishop d1, and white is already being, and bishop d1 back. Yes, bishop b4 would have been, yeah, yes, even bishop b4 here works, wins. So I went this, I played bishop c6, I played bishop d5, king g4, f4. Yes, knight c4, king f3 was my idea, and if bishop b6, bishop b5. Yes, it is winning, but maybe bishop b4 would have been even stronger. So, first round of Dubai Police Open, I managed to win with the white pieces against Mayank Chakraborty, 24 plus player. Yes, very tough tournament, many high rated players. Yes, thank you very much, and hope you liked the video, and please subscribe, and hope to see you tomorrow as well. Thank you.